best haunted places in New York.
Number 1. Palmyra Historical Museum, Palmyra. In 1964, 6 children and a young mother perished in a fire at this former 3-residence property. Over the years, museum goers have reported a host of creepy happenings. A smell of ash lingering in the basement, toys flying off the shelves, the sensation of having one's clothes or hair tugged, and even a phantom feline. Number 2, the Amityville Horror House. Amityville, whether or not you believe the book or the franchise of horror films it inspired, there is no doubt that some scary real-life stuff happened in this otherwise charming-looking Dutch colonial-style abode at 112 Ocean Avenue. In the early 70s, a young man murdered his parents and 4 siblings in the house. When another family bought the house after the murders, they reported witnessing all sorts of creepy smells and feelings and had unexplainable, ominous visions. The fam moved out just 28 days later. It is still a private residence, so don't be that person that takes a photo in front of the abode. Serious, just don't. Number 3. Dr. Best House and Medical Exhibit, Middleburg. The well-preserved doctor's home and office provide curious onlookers with a snapshot of life in the late 1800s. While that's cool and all, the collection of crude, mid-1600s medical instruments will send shivers down your spine. Not only that, but Dr. Best and his wife and son all died inside the house. Paranormal investigations have found soaring EVP levels, along with the faint sounds of the Best family and a tinkling piano. Number 4, Utica State Hospital, Utica, New York. Opened in 1843 as the first state-run hospital for treating the mentally ill. The former New York State Lunatic Asylum was considered state-of-the-art at the time of its completion. However, the good intentions of creating a treatment center were rarely supportive and caring within a massive Greek revival hospital. Facilitators regularly performed lobotomies and electroshock therapy. Patients lived in filth, confined to cramped quarters with little care. Here, doctors invented the Utica crib, an inhuman, long, shallow cage where they kept agitated people to calm them down or to punish misbehaving residents. Though it closed in 1973, Old Main, the local nickname for it, still stands. Some people claim they've seen faces looking out the window and heard screams coming from the abandoned building. Today, it's mostly off limits to the public. Number 5. Buffalo Central Terminal, Buffalo, New York. For a half-century, this Art Deco number was a bustling transportation hub. But although the last train departed in 1979, reports of moving apparitions and the feeling of being watched suggest that BCT remains plenty active. Ghostbusters recommend beginning at the baggage claim area. Watch out for a woman named Rose, where the overall state of abandoned disrepair only adds to the station's spooky vibe. Number 6. Rolling Hills Asylum, East Bethany, New York. If you've ever longed to explore a decaying asylum with just a flashlight and an EVP meter, consider your prayers answered. These rooms are arrayed with hospital beds, ratty dolls, and old medical equipment, all amplifying the eerie atmosphere. Make sure to visit the second floor of the East Wing to see if the Shadow People hallway lives up to its ominous name. The fun fact, appropriately, the former poorhouse was a shooting location for American Horror Story, Asylum. Number 7, Bellhurst Castle and Winery. Geneva, New York trips to this Vino Boston hotel in the Finger Lakes may involve more than one type of spirit at the late 1800s Romanesque revival structure, which over the decades has been a casino, a supper club, and a Prohibition-era speakeasy. Patrons have claimed to glimpse a forlorn woman in white who stands silently on the front lawn. According to legend, she was an Italian opera singer named Isabella, who decamped to the castle with her lover, only to meet her demise when one of its tunnels collapsed on top of her.
Number 8. Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. Sleepy Hollow, New York. Want to hear the scandalous stories that cemetery residents wish they could have taken to their graves? Of course, you do. During these weekend tours, kerosene lamps light the way as you're guided through town tales of murder, suicide, corruption, extortion, and insanity that are so terrifying they will leave you shaking among the tombstones. A handful of famous bodies lie beneath the soil, including the legend of Sleepy Hollow, writer himself, Washington Irving. Number 9. Burn Bray Mansion. Glen Spey, New York. Once part of a large estate for the president of the Singer Sewing Company, this Victorian bed and breakfast has frightened more than a few greenhorns. Private ghost hunters and guests alike have sworn to seeing a woman pacing the halls and to hearing unexplained noises, footsteps, and music from an unseen piano. Can't bear the thought of an overnight stay? The mansion's fall BYOB murder mystery dinners serve suspense without as many spooks. Number 10. Forest Park Cemetery. Brunswick, New York. For people living in Brunswick and nearby Troy, the abandoned Forest Park Cemetery, known locally as the Pinewoods Cemetery, is a place only traversed by the bravest of souls. If you explore this wooded area through tall, overgrown grass, you will likely feel chills running down your spine from inexplicable cold spots. Decapitated angel statues have been known to bleed from their stone necks, and should you peer inside one of the vandalized mausoleums, the coffin might just be missing. Spooky.